Shalom, shalom, spawn your show. Welcome again to The Rock. We've been here on the land, on The Rock, 5 years, almost 6, off grid. Off grid. Our house runs solar. Actually, it's a fairly decent sized house. Runs on solar. Right now I'm looking at the wood stoves, keeping the house nice and warm. Well, that's probably 20s right now. Not just that, but here in the Ozarks we have a Arctic cold coming in where it is going to be 0 degrees. It's going to be a low of 0. And then 3 or 4 days later, the low is going to be 43. And we have all the wood cut. Not a concern in the world. Unlimited amount of water, wood, food, grown, stored, put away, frozen. I mean, more solar energy that we know what to do with. Happy, content. Hey, this summer they're going to have a Mr. Cool in the house. I bought a Mr. Cool air conditioning unit that will run on my solar, and I'm going to be throwing it into the house. So they're comfortable. They made sacrifices, big sacrifices. And now everybody is able to enjoy the fruit. Sister Ebony just saw her come out the house. She's about to throw some laundry on. Everything's just beautiful. Producing 95% of our vegetables. Actually, 100% of our vegetables. And we're at the point where, if I say fruits and vegetables, we still buy oranges. There's a lot of fruit that's produced here. You know, persimmons and vine peaches and passion fruit, goji berries and elderberries and blackberries and wild blueberries. And we even have strawberries. What else do we have here? Apples and plums and pears and figs and just so much fruit. Next year, we'll be at about 50 or 60% of our meat will be produced here. And people had a lot to say about off-grid lifestyle. Well, I don't think, or even just coming out of her. Well, not specifically off-grid. I mean, yes, we've been off-grid for almost 6 years, but coming out of her. But for myself, people have a lot to say about me. Why are you doing it? That sounds stupid. That sounds dumb. We have all these things. Why would you? Why would you? If you've got electricity, why would you even worry about burning with wood and just all that? Yet here we are happy. We're not worried about the rising energy costs. We're not concerned about the cold snap because I just came out here, and one thing we will never, ever, ever, ever run out about here is wood. Ever. If I just cut down the trees that have already fallen, already naturally fallen, we would have wood for probably the next 10 winters. You see, the wisdom of Yah is foolishness to the world. But it's foolishness to the world because the world chases the simplicities, the vanities, the luxuries. People don't want to be inconvenienced for even a little bit, even if it means security for the long term. Most people would not trade in 2 years or 3 years of inconvenience for 10 years of safety if it meant work, hard work. They'll do it for college. They'll trade in 4 years, 8 years, and hundreds of thousands of dollars, or 100 or more thousands of dollars in debt, for the possibility that they might be able to go out there and get a job and pay that loan off. Maybe they'll be able to pay it off. But you look at the epidemic of people who are indebted to the educational system of this country. Then they go out and buy themselves a nice house, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they're just enslaved for the rest of their life. They buy a car that they can't afford. When the average car payment today is over $700. People are still out there trying to buy a car. When they took their stimulus checks, went out and bought cars, and now the cars are being repoed like crazy. People having their houses foreclosed on because they tried to impress people. I didn't try to impress anybody. I just wanted to live a quiet and peaceable life with my family. So I came out here and started this life off grid. Learn things like how to do solar, how to do it excellently. Learn my own auto mechanics. Learn how to build my own home. And now we're in a time where as a society and the economy are falling apart, people are losing their jobs. People want to try and get into this lifestyle, and what they don't have the capital to put into it. They don't have the money to put into it. See, this lifestyle coming out of her is not we're not doing this as a fire escape. This was a decision. It's not oh shit, the life that I'm living is not working out right, so let me take my last $100 and try and do this. No. Let me take my last $1,000 and try to do this. No. This was a well thought out, planned out thing. I had read the book. I had followed certain people on YouTube, one of them being Pastor Fox, or Brother Joe Fox. I don't know what to call you anymore, Pastor. Followed him on YouTube, followed other people on YouTube, saw what they were doing it, and said to myself, I wonder if I could do it. Prayed about it, and the Father said, it's not a matter of can you do it, it's will you obey the book. I said, I will. And it doesn't mean you have to come out here and come off grid like I did. It's not what I'm saying. Some people are trying to make it sound like you got to do it the way I do. No, this is the way I chose to do it. And it's worked out for me. There are people who have come out and they're on the grid. You know, most of the brothers that I know aren't on the grid. But there are brothers that I know that are on the grid. And you know what? When you still don't have to buy or pay for your food because you're growing it. When you still don't have to pay for your meat. When you don't have to pay for your water. When you don't have to pay for your heating. And all you may have to pay is for some power lines that run into your property. You know how easy it is to make a $300, $400, $500 payment for those that, use the power system, the grid. You know how easy it is to pay for that $300, $400, $500 a month when you don't have a mortgage, when you don't have a $2,500 rent? You know how easy it is to pay for those things? While everyone else is tripping, I was reading an article that said that over 60% of young people, I can't remember what age it was on there, it was like under 30 or something like that, 30 and under, maybe it was 35 and under, something like that. Over 60% of them are now living at home. They're not living at home. What I mean by home is they're living with their parents. They're living with an elder family member, parents, an uncle, auntie, their own grandparents. Because everybody tried to play the game. Everybody tried to play the game the system wanted you to play. And they got caught up in it. And when you realize, oh crap, I can't pay for my car, repoed. Can't pay for my house, foreclosed on. Can't make my credit card payments, bankruptcy. Can't do this, can't do it. When they realize all that and all this money they made over the course of their lifetime meant nothing. It bought them nothing. They own nothing. After all of those years of busting their ass, going to school, all that shit, and they own nothing except debt. Because you can't bankrupt yourself out of that student loan. You're beating yourself, hoping and praying, and that was not the way for us to live. A quiet, a simple life. Simple. You shouldn't have to be beating yourself up to try and make it every single day. You shouldn't be living paycheck to paycheck, which is what almost 60 to 70% of people are living paycheck to paycheck now. You shouldn't have to beat yourself up. You shouldn't have to work yourself to death serving a system that you have no time to come home and put in any work for your family or your yacht. It's sad. So yes, 5 years off grid. Almost 6. I remember coming out here with a travel trailer and being so excited because, for the in my family, uh, we didn't have very many homeowners, and I was a homeowner. And people might laugh at that and say, "Oh, it's just a travel trailer," but it was mine, my travel trailer on my land. And now that I built my house from the ground up, put in the work, still needs more work to do. Be doing that this next spring. But everybody's comfortable. Everybody's warm. Everybody has good food to eat, clean water to drink. Can come out here almost anytime they want to. We're so far out, the children come out and play. Not today. It's cold. They have plenty of power, plenty of electricity. They don't have to worry about the lights being shut off. Unless it's something like the inverter that went out a couple, 3 or 4 days ago. The inverter actually went out. But hey, I was able to just simply go out into my solar shed, pull out a backup inverter, because I have backups to my backups to my backups. Inverters and charge controllers and cable wiring and battery wiring and solar cables and splits and breakers. And I got plenty of that. So if one goes out, prayers y'all I'm able to replace it. But you know how freeing it is to know that while they're talking about transformers being shot up, I sit back in my house and I just shake my head. Like, man, that would suck to not have power. And then you have a generator. You have gas generators that you could use. And then you have solar generators you can use. That redundancy, that we've already learned to live without all of the different systems flowing. Some people use so much power in their house that they could never go on solar. It could never. A solar generator wouldn't do them any good. We have two 2,000 watt generators and two 700 watt generators, solar generators. That wouldn't do them any good because they have so many things running every day. Televisions and refrigerators, and then they sit there and stare in the refrigerator and let all that cold. Oh, they're just the messes. We've learned to adapt and we've learned to make it. So now those worries aren't our worries, and they shouldn't be your worries. They shouldn't be. That's part of the wisdom of Yah that He would impart into us. I just really hope that we are taking advantage of it now and not waiting until 2023 or until, things, go to such shit that we have no way of making it. Anyways, I'm headed back to work. Have a couple of things I'm doing inside. Bless y'all. Shalom.